Welcome! Thank you guys for tuning in to my makeup tutorial. If you would love to see how I achieve this look, please continue to watch. So first, you guys, I'm going to take this moisturizer that I got from my Ipsy bag, and I'm going to moisturize my face because I have really dry skin. As you can tell, you will see me add a little bit more because my skin still feels a little dry. So I'm going to add a little bit more of this all over my face. Next, I am going to apply a chapstick because I am wearing a matte lipstick and it tends to dry your lips out. So I put a little barrier underneath just to keep my lips nice and moisturized. Then I'm going to go in with this illuminating primer just to prep and prime my skin for my foundation application. Alrighty, you see I'm going to take this Smashbox. This is the eyelid primer, so I'm going to apply this all over my eyelid. I love this primer because it makes the eyeshadow stick and stay and it doesn't crease. So what you want to do is it applies wet, but it dries real tacky and it dries really fast. So if I were you, I'll try and apply as quick as you possibly can, and to probably set it afterwards. I normally don't set it, but this is one of my favorite eyelid primers. Next, I am going to take this Anastasia Beverly Hills brow pencil. It's a duo pencil, and I'm just going to sculpt and fill in my brows and conceal my brows. I love this brush. It's a duo, so you don't have to use multiple brushes. Yes, the brush is a little bit more expensive, but it's worth it. And I'm going to go in with the Wonder Brow. The Wonder Brow, it is waterproof and it does stay. I love this Wonder Brow. I am using darkest brown just to fill in my brow because I have a scar in it, but I do highly recommend this Wonder Brow formula. It is wonderful. Next, I am going to go in with my contour palette that I got from Wish. I am taking shades 2 shades lighter than my natural skin tone just to sculpt out my eyebrows to give them the shape that I want. I start in the middle just to start off to make sure that they're even. So now that I have done that, next I am going in with my beauty blender, and I'm just going to blend out all of the harsh lines so that way you will not be able to see it really underneath my foundation. So I'm just taking my beauty blender. Yes, it is wet. You do want to warm it. Well, use warm water to puffen it up or whatever, but I'm used that to blend out my concealer. Alright, so I'm going to take my Tartelette in Bloom palette. I love this palette. And what I am going to do is apply my eyeshadow first before I put my foundation on. So I'm going to take this neutral tone color and I'm going to just apply that all over my eyelid. Alrighty, you guys, then I'm going to take this same palette and I'm going to use the shade darker, and I'm going to use this as my transition color. So what you want to do is you want to take another finger and you're just going to apply this in your crease. And when you do it, just start off very lightly and then just build up because you don't want to add too much because you can't take away. So I will recommend just starting off lightly and then add to your liking. So I'm going to take this darkest shade in the palette and I am going to start at my lower lash line and just blend upwards to try and smoke my eyelid out. I love this color because it's not black, but it's like a dark brown, and it's easy to blend with the other colors in this palette. So I really love this palette. This palette is thebomb.com. If you guys have not invested in the Tarte line, please do. Their products are phenomenal. So now that I have smoked everything out, I'm going to go in with this brow gel. I'm just going to add this to my brows just to keep them in place so they do not move throughout the day. It's good to always add a gel on top just to keep them in place. Next, I'm going to go in with my Makeup Forever foundation in the color Y505. This is their HD line. This is my first time trying this foundation, so I mean, after I used it, I didn't really care for it, honestly. I'm not used to their makeup line, but For some reason, it made my face look cakey, if that makes sense. I'm used to using Tarte's Amazonian clay foundation. Is a little bit more to matching my skin tone. As you see, this is a little bit more lighter than my skin tone, but for the most part it did the job for the day. Alright, so I have applied my contour and my highlight all over my face. So what I'm going to do is take my beauty blender and just blend in my highlight in my T-zone, and then go in with my contour to contour my cheekbones, my forehead, and my jawline. So now that I have blended out my contour and highlight, I'm going to take the L'Oreal Mercier Candlelight Glow in 6, and I'm going to add that to my contour just to give me a little glow. And to buff this out, I'm using it as a bronzer to warm up the outside of my face. I love this bronzer for my skin tone. It just carves my cheeks out so effortlessly. Look at that. Yes! You better contour for the gods. Don't mind me singing, by the way. Just living my best life. Next, I'm going to take the LA Colors setting powder in the shade medium, and I'm just going to put that on my highlight in my T-zone just to add as a baking thing. I like to bake. I've learned this from drag queens and watching a lot of tutorials on YouTube. So I love to bake. It's just to enhance my highlight, baby. So while we let that sit and bake, I'm going to take this light color in my Tartelette palette, and I'm going to add that as a highlighter to my brow bone. I'm just going to lightly swipe that over the end of my brow bone just to give it a little light and a little lift. Get a little pop. See how it just pops? Next, I'm going to take this little fluffy brush, and I'm just going to dust off some of this baking powder off of my face lightly. But it's going to take some time just to get the powder off, but just lightly just dust the powder off. It'll come off eventually. Now that we have dusted the baking powder off, I'm going to go back in with my Laura Mercier Candlelight Glow powder, and I'm just going to re-bronze a little bit just to warm back up my face a little bit and just go back over that contour. There's nothing wrong with blending, honey. So next, I'm going to take that same color as I use in my brow to highlight to use as a highlight on my face, but that was the wrong decision. I don't know why I did that. I later found out that I did not like it. Didn't turn out as well. Next, I'm going to go in with my e.l.f. eyeliner gel, and I am taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeliner pencil, and I'm just going to apply that to my waterline closest to my eyelashes as I possibly can, just to make it a little bit more darker, closer to my lash line. Next, I'm going to take the MAC mascara, and I'm just going to swipe this over my eyelashes before I apply my falsies. Next, I'm going to take this lipstick that I bought off of Wish. I'm just going to put that on my lips first just to keep my liquid matte lipstick from running. So I just put this underneath as a base, so that way that my red lipstick will be a little bit darker. Yes, look how it turned out, honey. Yes. Next, I'm going to take my Smashbox primer water, and I'm just going to spray this all over my face. So we are done, you guys. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching my makeup tutorial. This was a ton of fun. I hope you learned a little bit from me, and we'll see you soon in the next video.